to say regarding this pandemic?
First of all, I never expected to see something like this happen in my lifetime. So,
No, but I was actually somehow expecting during the month of January, since I am heavily into investing in stocks, and also when I was seeing my
uh,
stocks was going down actually during the month of, I think, close to end of January. So I was suspecting something bad is going to happen because it was plunging pretty sharply. So, and then all of a sudden, then I saw that probably it was declared epidemic in China, and from there on it started spreading up in Italy, Spain, and now everyone knows the history. But nobody expected. Very true. Probably, probably actions could have been taken a lot earlier, but
yeah, that's
now
true. No,
it is what it is.
what I was saying was that I never expected such kind of pandemic to happen in my lifetime. We always live in a glass box, right? Thinking that everything would be fine. It will be as normal as life has been. But so this came as a surprise. Yes, as you told, from January onwards, we started getting to have a sign of like things are
Yeah,
bad,
something
but
was going wrong actually.
yeah, things are getting bad, but we actually don't know how bad it was until the actual numbers started coming from Italy. So that's when it really strike you. Okay, something is
Yeah,
really screwed up. And since
now
you being
there are
great
a lot of
fan of
questions like,
yeah, you being great
yeah,
fan of
like a lot
Italy,
of unanswered
so
question. Could this have been prevented earlier, or things could have been done in a different way? But I think thinking about the past will not solve any issue, not solve any problem. Probably right now the issue in hand is pretty big actually. So on one side we have the economy, which is equally important. On another side we have the pandemic, which is letting the economy going down. So it's kind of it seems to be a deadlock situation right now. So what do you say on this?
yes, so it's like we are not expert on either of the department, but as we have been working for almost I've been working for more than a decade, you have been working for more than a decade, so and we have seen the
Yeah,
recession, and this seems to be going even worse than the 2008 recession, and which we have encountered at the early of our career. But as you said, of course, our one of the biggest lessons for all of us has been the lifestyle that we have, uh,
yeah, true.
like
To be very
yeah,
honest,
so our
yeah,
life
being
even
myself.
yeah, for us, like we grew up in a decade of in India in 90s where we still played, and but we
Yeah,
allowed our
80s and
lifestyle.
90s. I was more
Yeah,
80s and 90s both.
yeah. So we
So
and
yeah,
still we also allowed our lifestyle to go wrong. Like we've been working in IT sector, so we have been putting long hours, and we kind of have sort of let go of our active lifestyle. But
yeah, I
this
don't think
is
it's right now. If I look at today's generation regarding lifestyle, I don't think it's only with the IT sectors, because I'm seeing a lot of young generation in schools and colleges. Probably what I can say is like that in our time, the life was completely different. It was more of an outdoor sort of a lifestyle where
yeah,
people used to go to ground, play. Nowadays, everybody is clinging onto their mobile phones and laptops, playing video games, which is extremely disappointing for me to see. And this is absolutely an unhealthy lifestyle as far as I'm concerned. Yeah,
like
technology is very important. Everything is good, but I think there has to be a fine line between what people can get and what people cannot get. Right now, everything is so easily accessible, sitting at your home, that people are not even, especially kids. When I see kids not going outside to play, it actually hurts me. So yeah,
yeah,
this pandemic
like
brought us.
true. I've been observing some situation for past few years. Like we had a ground at our my home nearby. When we used to go and play, there used to be at least 20 to 30 teams who were playing in the same ground, and we used to struggle for get a pitch to play. And now you go to any time, you'll hardly find a team playing there. Like the grounds are empty. It's like more of a become uh, uh, people using it for walking and doing other stuffs, but hardly there is a fight among kids to play in the playground. And you see, even I see my younger nephews and those, they are all into games pretty early in the mobile, like, and they are lacking physical activity. So uh, that in a way has resulted in a pretty bad kind of immunity lifestyle, and also somewhat our generation is also responsible for it, that probably we also push people to into uh, getting into more into
Yeah.
devices.
Yeah. So coming back to the pandemic, yeah. So I have seen like this pandemic actually uh, just changed our lifestyle drastically and dramatically, I'll say, because I have never imagined that I can stay at home 24/7 for the last 1 month. So it's been extremely tough. Yeah, people are saying, I'm seeing a lot of people are saying we are getting time to stay with the families and all. That one side is okay because I think today's working professional don't get much time to spend with their family. So in a way that is okay. But the biggest concern is it is leading to extreme unhealthy lifestyle,
True.
because one thing, no matter how much people say you can work out from home, you can do exercise from home, but it will never replace your regular going out, working outside in a gym or in a playing area. So it can never replace that thing. And also the mental side of it, I think that's the biggest challenge. I think uh, if this lockdown continues or if this pandemic continues to grow, I think the mental challenge of staying put in a home for 24/7 can also be devastating, I feel like. So it's not
Yeah,
only we need to fight the virus, but also the mental side of things.
it is like I have seen some few articles, people talking about the mental health that people are suffering, especially when uh, kind of job losses that we are talking about, and we can see
Yeah,
it's like you just cannot avoid the how economy is going to get affected, and in a country like India, which border around poverty, and there are huge mass of us, like we have a huge daily wage uh, workers, and
yeah,
especially our informal
yeah.
sector is more than
I think,
80%. And
yeah, I
I
was like thinking, yeah,
and even for us, like people like us working in IT sectors, we are we can see an imminent threat to our jobs. Like it can just happen to anybody because company can't sustain with this lockdown. So what do you think about that? Like how it might affect the job sector, like for
now
people
there is,
like you and me?
yeah. So like my thought is like there are so much uncertainties. Like I was also there during the 2008 recession. I've seen that actually. So there are a lot of layoffs and everything was going on. But even there can be a solution, I thought, like in during 2008. So the government can take action there. Okay, it can be resolved, although it was very difficult, but it can be resolved. But this seems to be an extreme uncertain situation. Nobody
Yeah,
knows what's
one
going to happen tomorrow.
one
But
difference between
yeah,
2008 and now is that the world has all had seen some kind of financial recession earlier, so we sort of had an inkling and an idea how to solve a recession, or which is financial recession. But this probably after Spanish flu, this is and the kind of globalization that we are into. Nobody has an idea. We don't know when the vaccine is going to come. How uh, since we are talking about the ill effects of lockdown that we are into, but we actually don't know what will happen post that if the things open up, and probably
yeah,
that's a fear into everybody's mind. But somehow
yeah.
we need
So
to find a
like
way that come to normal life.
so mostly what I fear is like, yeah, definitely. Actually, yesterday I was going through the US economic job loss data. So it's pretty scary. It's pretty
Yeah,
scary. I think 20 odd million jobs already lost, and especially in sectors like hotels, hospitality, then your airlines, uh, and the hotel and tourism industry. So these are the sectors that employ a huge chunk of people, especially young generation. So job loss on that sector, definitely it is going to lead to a huge scale of depression among youths. And personally, I feel like it's tremendous uncertainty that is leading us, because it's an extraordinary situation nobody has seen. Probably my generation, my previous generation, previous to that generation also has not seen. Last time probably the Spanish flu was the last pandemic the world has seen, and after that the world has changed a lot.
yeah,
So how
true.
to handle such a situation in today's where the population is all the population exceeds like 7 billion. So to keep 7 billion people locked down, mostly not, I'll not say 7 billion, but probably I think 5 billion obviously is under lockdown in some sort of form, and not to make them work. So yeah, it's a very precarious situation right now. So I don't know, means it's so much uncertainty that nobody knows. But anyways,
Yeah.
Ankesh, so
So,
yeah,
man,
so
I just wanted to ask you a few things. Like, for last few years, I've seen you make huge changes to your lifestyle. Like, you've gone
yeah,
into your health and fitness, your uh, physical awareness, like the body awareness that you have got. You into swimming, so you're gymming quite regularly. So, how do you think? Like, uh, what is the changes that you have seen in yourself after getting into this kind of regular fitness habit? So for over the years, like for last, I guess
probably
for last 3 years, you have been into this healthy lifestyle
uh,
mode. So what changes you
yeah.
have
So
made?
you have yeah, right. So you can say like yeah, changing of lifestyle probably is kind of a changing of a guard actually. So it's been 3 years that I'm trying to get more deep inside knowledge into nutrition. But the thing is, you obviously know that I was a sufferer for ankylosing spondylitis, so which is a rare genetic condition. So when it struck during I think 2008, it struck me, and it struck me very badly. So people who knows ankylosing spondylitis, it is an extremely debilitating disease, and I wish nobody has that. So once it happened in 2008, so it is an autoimmune condition. So I went to the best of doctors in India. Nobody has an answer for that. So the only answer they had was painkiller or immunosuppression, and probably some form of calcium and all. So none of which it seemed to me make any sense to my disease. Because how can a healthy man like me having a just because of having an autoimmune condition, I have to take a immunosuppression. Immunosuppression is nothing but which will suppress your immune system. So that was not the correct approach for me. But no medical science has any answer to this disease. It's a genetic disorder basically. So then I started actually that during 2008, or you can say from 2008, I started researching about nutrition, more than fitness, about nutrition. So my main interest started growing from 2008 regarding nutrition. So uh, as much as I went deeper into the new science of nutrition, I found that you know, as a society, we just know tip of the iceberg, because the human body is so complex. It's an extremely complex thing. Somebody may say you follow this diet, it will be helpful to you. Somebody might say you follow this diet, it will be helpful to you. You will see hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels who says
Yeah,
taking this diet will help you. Taking this diet will help you. But truth of the matter is nobody knows the fact for sure. Any big writer, any big science journal, nobody has the perfect answer, because I am a sufferer. I have experimented with my own body. You can say I myself became the guinea pig. So I have experimented with my body because I was getting confused. So one person is saying following a carnivorous diet can take away all your, but that is obviously not a sustainable thing. Following a vegetarian diet can cure all the disease. Somebody is saying
that's also
following a
not
vegan diet
sustainable.
can
Yeah,
cure all the disease, but nobody has the answer for this. So that point of time I started researching a lot, because it's for myself actually. I was doing the research because I
true.
was suffering badly because of the pain. So the more and more I get into the things, the more knowledge I gathered. Luckily we have the internet with us, a lot of information, but you need to know the way to tap into the correct information in a correct way, and
Yeah,
then not to trust that blindly, but to experiment it, to try it, to figure it out if it works for you. Because I can tell you, after my experience in the last 13-14 years with diet and nutrition, I have seen everybody's body is totally different. A
true.
particular food can react to my body in a completely different way than it can react to your body. So that changed my whole perception towards food, and you can say nutrition science. Unfortunately, today's medical science, I don't think they are so much into immune system and nutrition. But after because this is such a big disease, no doctors, every doctors has gave up the answer. They said only painkiller and immunosuppression was my answer to ankylosing spondylitis. Now probably 5 years, I obviously have few niggles, because I uh, do cheat on my diet and all. So I do have niggles, ankylosing spondylitis pain are there here and there. But the pain that I was in 2008, 9 and 10, I am total, because I can do swimming, I'm working out, extremely active, try to run around. So it is a saving grace. So now I know how much important is diet and supplementation. Supplementation also I'll say, because in today's diet you'll not get everything from the diet, because we have destroyed our soil, we
Yeah,
have
sure.
destroyed our water. Even the vegetables are full of pesticides and glyphosate. So you have to rely on supplementation, but given what is correct thing for your
Correct.
body.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
just
so
don't go blindly taking somebody's
yeah, you should
advice.
not follow any advice blindly, because nobody knows the answer. Because we can have another discussion on microbiome, which is a big thing, gut microbiome, gut brain axis and
Sure.
everything. So that is for another day. But I want to come to this pandemic, like coronavirus. So there are a lot of
Okay,
curiosity
just
on.
yeah, I just want to ask you, since you've been actively, you are doing an active job and for last 15 years, 13 years, I guess. Uh, so what do you suggest that people like us who always creep that we don't have time for our fitness, or we don't get time to have a right diet? So what are the basic changes that people like us will make in our lifestyle so that we can uh, at least have a, a healthy lifestyle, if not having a supermodel body, but at least have a healthy lifestyle, live healthy? Because ultimately all the money that we are making, we have seen that people in their mid 30s are suffering from
Yeah,
multiple
I'm seeing
diseases, like people
this
have
young generation
diabetes.
is also suffering from
Yeah,
obesity and all.
people are getting diabetes and other stuff just because of our wrong eating habits, and the money that we are making, probably everybody is spending 10 to 20% of their money to doctors or medicines, something. So what are the basic things some people should, how do they inculcate fitness in their lifestyle?
So,
So what do you
see,
want? Because for I'll let me just let me add one more thing. Your travel time is also almost 2 hours a day, is
correct, correct.
apart from your office. Still you do swimming and you do gymming. So how you are managing it? Because people
See,
have
I'm not a
complaints.
doctor, first
Yeah.
of all. So let me clear the fact: I'm not a doctor, even I'm not a nutritionist. But you can say I'm a geek on nutritionist. So I study lot of article. I watch lot of good content from the net, just related to nutrition, because I have become addicted to that. After, you can say, I have put my disease into remission. So I have some sort of addiction towards nutrition. So I try to capture as much information as possible and try to see what works and what actually does not work. So there's no suggestion as such. Everybody's body is different. That is what I'm saying. You should
No, what
carefully
I'm
study
asking
your
is,
body.
how important do you think that people should inculcate a fitness regime into their daily lifestyle? Like,
That is very important, because I'll say one thing. Coronavirus has taught us one thing today. I think the world should change after this pandemic. It has changed one perception. If you are unhealthy, and if some sort of
to,
virus like coronavirus attacks you, then your chances of escaping that is very less, which we are seeing today in
yeah,
US, Italy, and other countries.
like
So
everybody is now
calls
saying
for
that you need to have a good immunity to survive. That's the basics.
exactly, it calls for more reason to be healthy now
Healthiness.
than
Yeah,
before. I think there is nothing more fearful than death. So this pandemic has taught us that today it is more important to be healthy than before. Now, as you are asking me, I fear the biggest three general health related issues which people are suffering from today. I think I'm leaving out cancer, but I'm just focusing more on the autoimmune side of it. So diabetes will be number one, because I'm
yeah,
seeing even young people are suffering from diabetes. Hypertension, another one thing, and
stress.
third always high cholesterol.
Yeah,
So in a basic sense, we need to control these three diseases first. I think regular blood checkup. Regular means obviously it's not possible for a normal person to have every monthly blood checkup, but in a year, twice, I think you should go for these three minimum checkup, like your HbA1c level, your LDL and VLDL and other lipid profile, and the third is your blood pressure. So these three things you need to keep in check. So to keep in check, the first you need to do some sort of movement, exercise if not possible. I know there are time constraints for people.
Yeah, but
Definitely, if you
people
get
can
a
at
chance,
least
swimming
walk,
is
right?
best.
We
Yeah,
we
at
can
least you can walk. I
walk.
don't see people walk today. I think people are becoming so lazy nowadays because sitting in front of laptop and mobile phone that they're becoming a potato couch, to say so. So you should move. You should, move your ass. You should go out. You should walk around a little bit.
Walk around, climb few stairs.
And another thing I seriously feel, at least you should not overeat,
Yeah,
because
that
overeating I think leads to more disease than undereating. So you
probably.
should not stuff your stomach once you are full. Or I'll say it is better to leave your stomach 90% full rather than going for 120%. So that is one thing.
100%
Eat clean, give up junk food as much as possible, because this is another pandemic our society is fighting. That is a junk food pandemic. Everybody is on the go. So grabbing from a McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut. Yeah, once in a while it's okay. I do
Yeah,
have my cheat meals as well. So once in a while it's okay, but people are making it a regular basis food. I see
in a way,
normal
this has taught this lockdown has taught us that we can survive without that, because now for last past
exactly
1 month all of us are eating home cooked food, and even if you
correct,
want
correct.
to have some oily food at home, that's also healthier than eating junk outside.
Yeah, but I'll say as much as you can minimize oil, because
Yeah,
I try to experiment with my body, having an oily food and then taking my lipid profile. So I try to do all sort of experiments. I have seen oily food as much as you can minimize, you know, uh, sugar as much as you can minimize. I'm not saying to leave it completely, because in our society it is difficult to give up sugar. So minimize it as much as possible. Don't go for sugar free like sucrose and all. If you have to go for sugar free, go for stevia, because sucrose I think kills your gut microbiome. So that's another day topic we can discuss on artificial sweeteners. But sugar, if you have to take it as minimum as possible, oil as minimum as possible, and then white flour as minimum as possible.
true.
So try to go for whole foods, uh, fruits, more vegetables, and minimize non-vegetarian food as much as possible. So just
How,
to keep our diet clean.
on a lighter note, how does the Bengali control its sweet thing? Like we can't survive
It's
without
difficult. It's difficult, but yeah, it's difficult.
without
But we are trying.
mithai.
Yeah, good question
Like
actually. Being a Bengali, it's very tough to find. It's very hard to get into a mode where you can reduce your non-veg food. But I think to an extent, fish is still, I guess, does not harm your body so much apart from mercury content. I understand there are a lot of things about fish also which are not good. Like in today's polluted water, the fishes are growing. So obviously they
especially
will have high
people
mercury content. But I think red meat, I think people should reduce
should
red meat,
avoid. Yes,
at least reduce it, if not completely. I think this can be a good starting point. But yeah, sugar, dairy, oil, there are 3, 4 things which you need to reduce. And definitely, there is no. If you see Virat Kohli's blog, he has given up gluten.
yeah,
So those are extreme measures. If you see Novak Djokovic, he has given up gluten. But I'll say giving up gluten for our Indian society will be too tough. But yeah, there is a strong science right now behind gluten-free diet. There is a strong science. That is why athletes like Virat Kohli, Novak Djokovic are promoting going gluten-free. There is a strong science, but I'll not say right now to go to that extent. Normal people will not be afford to give up gluten. That means giving up biscuits, rotis, and breads and all. So that will be tough. But I think minimum to start off with: oil, minimize it; sugar, minimize it; dairy, minimize it; and white flour, minimize these 4 things,
this.
as well as red meat.
So puri
So
luchis are a complete no-no. We should avoid
I
at
think
least
as much
not
as
more than
you can.
once in a month. Yeah,
See, this coronavirus, again, I'll come to this fact, because this has taught us disease, any comorbidities, any existing disease can be extremely fatal. So in a way, it taught us a lot of things. I think people should now awake. So yes, but we all want this pandemic to get over and start our regular life with a new hope, with a new world. But I think this thing eventually will go out, whether the vaccine comes or not. I think the vaccine will take a lot of time right now,
true.
because it has to go through trials and all. But even before the vaccination, I really hope some form of cure should come. At least, I don't know hydrochloroquine is working or not. If it works, it's great. Then there are other medications also people are trying.
Yeah,
There
there
are
are.
therapy. Right now, what as a normal human being we can do, we can boost our immunity.
That's
So
what I
that's the
wanted to
only
say.
thing
Yeah,
we can.
that's
Yeah.
in our
So
hand.
I
Like
think
regular exercises, eating right food. That's the best we can do.
yeah,
Do
sunlight is very
pranayam, yoga,
important
those
because
things.
yeah, right now if you see the research, sunlight is very important because I think the biggest thing that I've watched over the while surfing internet is like vitamin D. There's no replacement for vitamin D. So
Yeah.
I think people should try to get at least half an hour of sunlight every day
Go out.
because
Yeah.
yeah, dark skin usually does not process vitamin D properly. So as an Indian, we should stay in the sun at least some sort of time. So
Yeah.
I think sunlight as form of vitamin D is the most important thing, as all the scientists are saying now right now. Vitamin C. So these are few basic changes you can make to your life, I think, because nothing more than this. And keep yourself healthy for the next pandemic. Because
Yeah.
you never
Be
know now
ready.
that
Yeah.
when when another virus can strike us.
Yeah. Another
And
virus.
if you are hypertension, if you are heart disease, if you have lung disease, you can see what is happening to the whole world right now. So it's already touched 2 lakh today. I just now saw the report. So 2 lakh death. Hopefully, I think we can get
Yeah.
over and probably we can share our thoughts.
Sure,
Uh,
man. So we should end our first podcast talk here. And
I hope people should like it. People should comment on it.
yeah,
If they have anything for us to
yeah,
discuss on.
yes.
We are
If
general
anybody
people.
also want, yeah, anybody wants to join us to have a chat,
Yeah,
that's fine with us.
or any question because we are normal people. We are just
Yeah,
uh,
we are
uh,
no expert in anything. Just
trying
we
to
wanted
understand the
to.
situation, assess the situation, and put forward whatever our understanding is. If anybody has any other knowledge, they can share
Any
it with us.
suggestion?
We can
Yeah,
discuss that.
we are open for anybody to join us and have a chat. And it's just an informal chat that we are starting up. We'll talk to many more people, include our
Yeah,
friends, circle, people from different
correct.
fields. We'll try to
This
get
should be
more
carried on.
people into.
Knowledge sharing is the best thing right now we can
Yeah.
do sitting at home,
And
even after. Yeah,
and since we have time and we both have some sort of experience in for working and studying and doing other stuff, so
correct.
probably whatever we could share, and we can also learn from some other people
Yeah,
who we are going to talk in future. So
correct. So
all
also regarding the ankylosing spondylitis stuff, I want to share with people like we will have definite going forward dedicated
let's do
sessions
one
for
thing. Our second chat we dedicate to your disease, like how you recovered, how you have
yeah,
overcome
yeah,
the pain and
sure.
the process. So
So
the
yeah,
second
so
episode
that
will be
because a lot of people are suffering and people ask me, what I do to manage my disease because I don't take any medicine apart from
yeah.
painkillers when extreme pain comes around. But usually I manage it pretty well. So yeah, I will share my knowledge, whatever I
So
understood last
let's keep it for the
time.
next episode. So
Sure.
uh, let's end
Bye.
this at the right tone.
Correct. Yeah. Bye and hope everybody is keeping well, staying hydrated.
True, man.